cannot wait to show you some of the differences. John and I were looking back and the early day 1 and day 2 videos. It's so encouraging to see in 40 days how much our garden has grown, how much our berry plants have grown, and what is going on. I'm going to start with a few garden chores, and then John will be helping take a look back a little bit later. I am standing by our sunflowers. They have finally outgrown their protective chicken netting so that the chickens didn't get them when they were little. I think they're fine. I think the chickens will leave them alone. But these guys are ready to have no ceiling and to hit sky high. Let's give them a little growing freedom. That's one roll done. We'll save this netting for our next homestead project. Well, the sunflowers are big enough to live without the netting. They're not quite big enough yet to require staking. I am going to leave one garden stake in there so that I can put some twine around it, so when we're ready to stake them off, we already have the string where we'll need it. With that netting gone, I can do a little bit of weeding. I can see the grass up around it has grown kind of high. This is a good place for that reel lawnmower to be used, or that other tool, as well as get some of the flowers out of there so these sunflowers are not competing for water.
We've reached it. It's day 40. 40 days. For the past 40 days, we've been working hard in this space and lots of other places around our property. And we've brought all of it to you as a part of the 40-day Cultivating Real Life Homestead Challenge. We're a little sad because the 40 days are done, but we're not stopping. And I'll have more on that in just a minute. But first, I want to take you around and I want to show you what do things look like today, and we'll kind of intersperse that a little bit with some video clips of what it used to look like before we got started. So, it's day 40, let's get going. The first and most obvious place for us to start is the garden. So let's take a look at what it used to look like before, and now I'll show you what it looks like today. This right here, this is our greatest challenge ever. We have taken this piece of land and we have been preparing it starting all the way back in December to get it ready for this time. This is where we're going to try to grow our own food. So here we are in that exact same space today. We've got a number of plants that are growing and doing really well. We've got some plants that are kind of growing, not doing all that great, but they're still alive. We have some things that we lost. So as you can see, the corn doing really well. The squash plants doing very well. Our tomato plants are okay. Our carrots, they died. But that's okay, because that's part of learning. I'm really pleased with how the space did turn out. We thought that it might be a little small, and it probably will be. We're going to do another round of planting here very soon. So we actually do have plans, as we've talked about, to be able to widen this out, grow it by probably an additional roughly 15 feet in length or so, but that'll give us a lot more space to work with here, but we're pretty pleased. And you know, one of the things that I talked about in the beginning were the 4 things that we felt that we would need. And those 4 things would be some space to grow in that was nice and bright and sunny. We felt that we would need lots of water, which we got that as well. The third thing that we would need would be some plants. Then we started those. Obviously, we got those here. And then the 4th were the chickens. And the reason we wanted the chickens was because we wanted to be able to till this soil. And we did a lot of that work before the 40 days, but we're reaping the benefits of that now. And I wouldn't change a thing. This has worked out really well. Now, what about that water? You know, that we put in our water cube. We were really excited about being able to do that. And it's worked out well. So let's take a look really quickly. Here's the water cube. The water level is about, right there. We've actually been doing some watering today. It's been very dry here the last few days, coming on the heels of being kind of wet for a while. So we've actually needed to put this to work. It's worked out well. And we also got to use the soaker hoses. That was another big find inside the 40 days. One thing that's not going so well with the water cube, maybe that's a bit harsh, but I'm not pleased with it. We're starting to get a little mold growing inside once again. We knew that was a possibility, and I actually bought the spray paint so that we could spray paint this cube, because everyone says that if you get the mold inside, or the algae rather, it's because the sunlight is getting in there, and one of the best ways to take care of it is just to eliminate the possibility of the sunlight getting in. I bought the paint, I just never got to it. We had other things that we were trying to get done, so that one stays on the list. We're gonna have to take care of that going forward. A while back we got our strawberry plants, and we initially tried some of them here in these 2 boxes. Now I'm pleased to say that the plants did actually make it. Well, some of them did anyway. Unfortunately, so did the weeds. We haven't done as good a job of taking care of that. Weeding's a full-time job. You got a lot to take care of if you want to keep it nice and free and clear. I'm generally okay with it, but we're not okay with where these boxes are and kind of what's happening with us. We're probably going to relocate them when we expand the garden. I had hoped to be able to swap out this fencing and instead have our much larger fencing in place right now. Another example of where we've gotten the supplies, we've just been a little short on time to be able to get it. Let me show you what I mean. This is one of our new fence posts. This post is 8 feet tall. To give you an idea, I'm 6 feet tall and it's still up there a good ways. But when we put this in the ground, 1 foot of it will actually be underground, leaving us 7 feet, which just so happens is the height of the fencing that we want to put up. Now this is just temporary fencing. I got these posts on Saturday. I haven't had time to put them up yet. Why? Well, that brings up another good point. You may recall that at one point during the 40-day challenge, Melinda was involved in a wreck, in a car crash. Well, the end result was our van was totaled. And that's made it really difficult to shake free some extra time to take care of things like putting in the fence. You see, I got the fence posts on Saturday, but I spent all of my time looking at cars. Today I spent a lot of time out actually looking at and test driving some cars, because we've got to have a new option to put in place. We got 5 kids. We're going to need something there. So as a result, the fence waits, but not forever. We've got the supplies. We'll get it up here, maybe even this week. Up on the front of our property, we've got the apple trees. And the apple trees, at least one of them, has been in the ground for 2 years now. The others have been in the ground for about 7 or 8 months. In general, they're doing well, but we got a problem, and it's just started happening here in the last couple of days. Japanese beetles. They're getting on here and they're starting to eat the leaves. This happened last year and it happened just like that. So what it means is I've got to get some Japanese beetle traps. We got to get on this quickly. Otherwise, we won't have any leaves left on this tree. That's not good for the tree. And from what was so tiny in the beginning, looks like this now. Look at these guys. They're huge. As I'm coming around, more strawberries. And these strawberries did exactly what we wanted them to do, which was we pinched off a lot of the blooms, we got rid of the fruit, and put all of its effort into putting runners down so that these plants will not only be nice and healthy, but they'll also spread. We're still very excited about our berry bushes. Of course, you know, if you've watched us, we've got blueberry bushes that we put in a few years ago, blueberry bushes that we put in last fall, and blackberry and raspberry bushes that we put in this spring. Now the blackberry and raspberry bushes in general have done very well. Check this one out. Look at the fruit. That's a win in our book. We know these aren't going to be big producers this year, but this is all about getting things started. And this one definitely worked out well. You may remember that in in our very first video in the 40-day challenge, we showed Elliot out here working hard on this path. He put a lot of cardboard down and then wheat straw over top of it. Well, as you can see, it looks really good. It stayed mostly weed-free. We probably need to bring back a fresh layer of wheat straw on top, but in general, I think we will have killed or kept down most of the stuff that's underneath. That's good news for future work. Now, how about those blueberries? How about these blueberries? They're still just a little early to be able to pick and eat, but I like where they are. They look really good. And as I look at some of the other bushes, we've got a few that are really close to being able to pick. But not everything was a winner out here on the homestead during the 40-day challenge. Initially, we were very excited about being able to put in a grapevine. And then we put it in and it didn't seem like it was doing so well. In fact, we dedicated an entire video to we thought that it was dead. I'll link to it right up here. It looked like it was alive, and it's actually dead. This just never made it. It got green for a little while and then it just stopped. And those leaves browned up and they died. We have no idea what happened. So, not a win, but not a complete failure because we think maybe that's not the right spot to be able to put a grapevine anyway. So, we'll try again, just maybe in a different place. So that's it, a very quick rundown of a number of the things that we tried as a part of this 40-day Cultivating Real Life Homestead Challenge. And we also took you inside, we showed you some of the things that the kids were doing. It was a full glimpse into a lot of the, a lot of our life over the last 40 days. And that was our intent. So why did we do this anyway? Well, partly it was a challenge for us, just to see, can we even make this happen? Can we actually grow things in a garden? Can we do things here on the homestead that will benefit our family? But I'd be lying if I said that was the main purpose. See, the real thing that we wanted to do was to find out, can we do this as a family? Can Melinda and I work together? Can we involve the kids? Can we work as a family to be able to make some of these things happen? And that was a success. So in general, our 40-day Cultivating Real Life Homestead Challenge was a success. We did a lot of the things that we were hoping to do, and we learned a ton of things along the way. We had some small disasters, we learned from it. We had some things that didn't turn out so well, we learned from it. We had some wins, we were excited about that, and we still learned from it. And those are the things that we would hope that anybody would take away as a win, as a success, as a part of a challenge like this. Where do we go now? I mean, it was the 40-day Cultivating Real Life Homestead Challenge, and we've done all 40 days. Do we just stop? Do we just quit and say, cool, we did a garden? No way. We knew all along that we were going to keep going, but the challenge for us was to figure out, could we do this, and also, could we take you along for 40 days? We've had a lot of fun, and we thank you for joining us on this journey. But we're not gonna stop. We're gonna keep going. See, tomorrow we're gonna get up and we're gonna come right back out here and we're gonna keep applying the lessons that we learned. And we're gonna keep filming it, and we want you to keep coming along with us. But now we're gonna add in some other things that are really cool. Melinda and I have been talking, there's a number of things that she's doing in the kitchen, getting ready to prepare cooking the foods that we're growing out here. She's got a lot of things lined up that she wants to talk about and to share with you as well. Plus, we've got some really cool things that we're doing with the kids in addition to all of the stuff that we're doing out here. So this is just the start. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for taking on the whole trip with us on the 40-day Cultivating Real Life Homestead Challenge. I'll tell you again, if you want to start over, if you missed any of it, just click the link right up here. We'll take you right back to the beginning and you can watch the whole thing. But with that said, thanks for joining us. We're going to be right back out here tomorrow, and we hope to see you then as well. If you got any questions or comments, leave them down below. We'd love to hear from you. And also, if you're watching us for the very first time, be sure to subscribe. We'd love to give you the latest content as soon as we publish it. Thanks for joining us. See you tomorrow.